Google's brand new router will fix your bad home Wi-Fi. A huge majority of Apple Watch users use Apple Pay. Somebody got a patent to build an elevator that goes into space, and more. It's Tuesday, August 18th, and this is Crunch Report. Google and its partner TP-Link just launched a new home router, that promises to fix what's plaguing your home network. Things like slow Wi-Fi, I have that. Videos buffering, definitely have that. Dropped connections, yep, that too. The OnHub router will cost $199.99. The router is now available in the US on the Google Store as well as at Amazon and Walmart.com, and it's also coming to retail stores both in the US and Canada soon. Now, as for router setup, because sometimes they can be a pain, the OnHub automatically scans your local airwaves to find the best channel for you, and will also automatically install updates and new features as they're released, something my current router definitely does not. Linksys, I'm looking at you. An Android or iOS app will control the device. That's where you can also manage other devices on your network. Now, $200 price point, that is kind of pricey for a router, but it is about the same price as Apple's AirPort Extreme, and that device hasn't been updated in 2 years. OnHub might be your next router. Canadian messaging app Kik has announced $50 million in funding from one of its partners, Tencent. Tencent just happens to be the biggest internet company in China. They're huge. This puts Kik's total raised money at $120.5 million and puts its valuation into that $1 billion unicorn territory. Tencent also makes WeChat, an extremely popular messaging app within China, along with others. Now, in a Medium post, Kik CEO Ted Livingston had this to say about the partnership, quote, "Today, there are only 5 other companies in the world that see the future like we do. Tencent, Line, Facebook, Snapchat, and Telegram. One of them owns the largest internet market in the world. We couldn't be more excited to partner with them as we run this race." Sounding pretty confident about the future. Kik is currently number 30 in the top free apps on the US App Store and 7th in social networking. Okay, Apple Watch owners, how many of you now use your wrist to pay for things via Apple Pay? Quite a few of you, it turns out. New data from Wristly, from a survey of 1,000 respondents, shows that Apple Watch wearers are more likely, 62% more likely in fact, to shop somewhere that offers Apple Pay as an option, and that 19% of watch owners tried out Apple Pay for the first time on their watch, and that 80% of watch users overall have used the service. 78% of users report that they use the service on at least a weekly basis. So what about the 20% that haven't tried Apple Pay? Number one reason for that was lack of support from the customer's personal bank. Still though, 80% adoption to use Apple Pay from an Apple Watch, pretty impressive. Those watches are good for something after all, and that's spending money. Just kidding. Not everybody will be able to afford the trips to Mars that we'll all be taking once we get the whole rocket thing worked out. But a Canadian company called Thoth Technology would like to give you another option. It's just been awarded a patent for something called a space elevator. Now, Thoth Technology CEO Caroline Roberts even took, let's call it a direct shot at SpaceX's somewhat spotty record with landing rockets thus far. She said, quote, "Landing on a barge at sea level is a great demonstration, but landing at 12 miles above sea level will make spaceflight more like taking a passenger jet." Now, that is assuming that you would like to be lifted 12 miles above the Earth in a space elevator. Personally, I cannot imagine anything more terrifying. This technology could do other things too, though. Bring equipment closer to a destination in space at a much lower cost. However, as TechCrunch's Drew Olenoff notes, simply having a patent does not mean that Thoth Technology will ever give us a space elevator at all. They're just a little bit closer. Now, drones are only as good as their pilots, right? If you're a bad drone pilot, you're gonna have crappy video, and a lot of drones have been lost in a tree or a body of water, much to the dismay of its owner. Now, here's a solution. The Fotokite, which is a quadcopter on a retractable leash. So let's say you attach a GoPro camera to it. You can then record video while the Photokite floats up to 26 feet away, easily reined in or out with the leash while hovering. Pre-orders on Indiegogo are going for $349, and that's just for the drone, not any kind of camera. That's sold separately, although it'll ship in early 2016. There's another version, by the way, the Photokite Pro, that's already being used by some organizations like the BBC. The Photokite isn't just for shaky drone pilots, though. Think of safety implications when you start flying a drone around a crowd of people. If you had a tethered drone, you could keep video under control at a protest or a rally if there's a lot of people around you, or it might just feel less unnerving for others. Plus, the drone blades are made of plastic, which should cut down on hurting anyone if it got to that point, hurting them less anyway. The consumer level Fotokite Phi only flies about 15 minutes on a charge, but the leash is also a power cable and an uncompressed HD video downlink, so technically it can fly and record all day long. Real quick before we go, I am sporting my shiny new Disrupt t-shirt. TechCrunch Disrupt is on September 21st through the 23rd at Pier 70 here in San Francisco, and you can currently get early bird savings of $1,000 if you buy your tickets before August 22nd. That's when prices go up. So if you're gonna do it now. And that's our report for today. I'm Sarah Lane. Crunch Report airs Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on TechCrunch.com. See you all tomorrow.